Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So in 3 more days, we commiserate 60 years since losing JFK. One of JFK's last executive orders was to try and return the U.S. to a silver standard. Obviously, in the time since JFK, silver has become a little bit less relevant, and instead, we now are running out of a number of strategic metals. So I hope you will join me this November 22nd. You will join me in attempting to hunt brothers the market in Bismuth. Now, to give you an idea of how small the market in Bismuth is, we also commiserate something else this week. A fellow Swiftie had a stroke during one of Taylor Swift's concerts in, I believe it was Brazil, because of how hot it was, and they weren't allowed water in the concert for some reason. And so a moment of silence for her. And so to give you an idea of how small the market for Bismuth is, I learned that Taylor Swift had made about $4 billion on the Eras tour, and that's not even counting other tours from her career. That's all of the Bismuth ever mined twice over in just one concert. Right, so imagine if we went into Bismuth with the kind of craze that we did for Taylor Swift, which is not a heck of a lot, right? After all, hopefully, the money you spend on Taylor Swift concerts is only a very small part of your discretionary spending, right? I would hope that we enjoy ourselves in other ways besides Taylor Swift concerts. But take that much and buy Bismuth instead, right? And tomorrow you could wake up with a new currency standard, a stable currency, right? So I hope you will join me in hunt brothering the market on Bismuth. Now, I know I've talked badly about the Eras concerts. I want to make my position clear on here. I love Taylor Swift as much as many other of my viewers. The problem is I do not love loud, crowded environments. I would much rather listen to Taylor Swift in an environment where I can control the volume, right? So now it's great that some of my colleagues, or I used to work at a tutoring center, a bunch of my students went out to see her. That's fine. What I had a problem with is, it's great that my students are enjoying themselves and going out to see Taylor Swift. It's also great that a number of students stayed behind to study. All of that is great. It's also great that my colleagues had other life plans. And, during the week of Taylor Swift, the schedule was kind of sparse. So all my colleagues went away. What I have a big problem with is that was not a trivial week to work, right? You still have to commute to the office, and I ended up getting paid for only 6 hours or whatever it was, right? Not a whole lot of money. I was so insulted, I almost didn't want to cash the check, right? Well, it was direct deposited, but it was a very insulting deposit, right? When I looked at the bank statement. And at the same time, that was not a trivial week to work. Sure, the hours were shorter, but what are you going to do with those extra hours? It's not like you can teleport somewhere, right? You can't really go away on vacation because the next day you got to do another 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever it was, right? So at the very least, I think that the tutoring center, they could have paid me for staying behind, right? But short of that, another possibility is they could have respected that maybe Taylor Swift concerts are not for me, but something else might be for me. Like when the night sky above us has a concert, right? Or a Computer Olympiad conference. You get the idea, right? Now, there's something else I want to mention. Now that the subject of Taylor Swift is on our minds. Next week is Thanksgiving. The average American, I looked this up, eats 5,000 calories on Thanksgiving Day. I'll let you Google that. And it's saddening because while you're eating, you're not being creative, right? Imagine if the next big chart-topping song was in the mind of somebody, but they were too busy eating, right? Or maybe the discovery of chemical element 119 was just about to spew out of somebody's mind, but oh my God, they were busy eating Thanksgiving dinner, right? Imagine the AI Or imagine Taylor Swift got so carried away eating Thanksgiving dinner instead of coming up with her new song, right? Wouldn't that be sad? The song that never came because Taylor Swift was too busy eating. She probably doesn't. In fact, I think she had an eating disorder. But you get the idea. Although it could be, right? Eating disorders have a tendency to swing like a pendulum, right? So hard to say if she's ever lost the song because of that, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.